So what do you get when you mix $250 million, hire the best animation studio in the world to animate your show, and get some of the biggest names in music to write your soundtrack? Well, you get Arcane Season 2. Now, Arcane is one of my favorite shows of all time. It has some of the most ridiculous production quality and attention to detail I think of any show I've watched. And I really love the music in this show, so I'm going to take a moment to talk about the music. I'll be breaking it down into acts, Act 1 to Act 3. Each act has their own vibe to it, since there is like a time skip and it's different. The music is different as well, it's a different vibe. Like Act 1 is more ballady, Act 2 is more metal, rock and roll, and you get Act 3's music. And I know everyone's favorite song of Act 3 is that French song, I can't speak French, so I'm not even going to attempt it, but beep. I was like, stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Before we start, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, and let's get into the video. So we start off Act 1 with Caitlin attending her mom's funeral, and there's a beautiful montage, and the song playing is I Can't Hear by Freya Ridings, and it's a pretty mellow, kind of melancholic sort of ballad, and I think it fits the episode perfectly because it's all about Caitlin and it's her dealing with grief. So I'm just gonna take a listen to it. I'm not gonna listen to every song in the soundtrack, only the ones I really think stand out. And this is truly a standout track. That and I think Ashes and Blood. But let's take a listen to this. Actually, no, there's a. Just so you guys can see, I'm using my acoustic guitar. So yeah, we in D minor. That's kind of a common theme for Act 1. So a common theme for Act 1 is most songs, if not all the songs, are in a minor key. So this one, I Can't Hear, is in D minor, and it's using 3 chords. It's using B flat, da, 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 ba. Heavy is the Crown is the next song that plays, and that's when Caitlin, it's a lot about Caitlin in these first couple montages, first couple episodes of Act 1, kind of developing her kind of descent into the dark side of super cop, and that's in C minor. Something like that. They keep a theme going in Act 1, and they wanted to be slower songs and more melancholic and more sad, and a lot of dramatic vocals. Like a lot of it's just piano and vocal and pads, some strings. Another standout track I think is Ashes and Blood. That tune to me is like one of my favorites. I think it's in F sharp minor or G flat minor, yeah. And then we have Sucker. And that's in A flat minor. It's kind of using the same vibe as Heavy as the Crown, as it's pedaling over one chord most of the time, but then it's adding that interval, and that interval's a minor sixth. So this is going to get very nerdy, but it's really cool when you understand why these songs sound the way they do and why they sound so sinister and cool. So Act 1 is a whole lot of melancholic and slow songs, except for 2, which is Hellfire and Renegade. That's the more latter half of the show, and it's pumping you up to what's coming in Act 2, which is heavy metal rock. Now we get to Act 2, and this is probably my favorite act of the show. It's the strongest act in my opinion, and the music in it is pure energy, and it's rock, and it's influence rock, and I love the song Paint the Town Blue. Some people don't like it, but I think it's the most fun thing ever to play on guitar. It's like that. Oh, that's so sick. That's so sick to play. And it has other tunes. It has Vi's Fighting Pit song, and that's also an insanely heavy song. There's like some straight up screamo in it. I think it's amazing. I think this act's music is the best. So we have the vibe immediately in this act, and the vibe is basically everyone's mental state. Like Jinx is becoming a symbol of hope. Vi is in the absolute gutters mentally, and the song is showing it. She's basically lost. She's lost everything, and all she does is fight all day and drink. So that really comes through in the songs, and the rock stuff is really contrasting between the more mellow side of Act 1, and then after the events of Act 1, Act 2 hits, and it is insane. It's like, here's your rock, here's your roll, let's just do this all day. Let's go. You know, it's kind of like a fighting music. Then it takes kind of a turn in midway with Isha's song and Remember Me, when they try to fix Vander. And I have a cover of that, of Remember Me, on my YouTube, check it out. And that's more gentle, and that's more soft, and that's kind of preparing us into Act 3. So Act 2 for me, the standout song is Isha's song and Paint the Town Blue. I love those two songs, and I think it's amazing. Nothing really harmonically interesting about them, except for Isha's song. It changes key, I think, twice. But other than that, I think it's probably my favorite music in the show. Happens in Act 2. So I'm wearing a new shirt. Now it's time to break down Act 3. And this act is even more different from Act 2 and Act 1. It's more of a romantic and lovely vibes. The first song we hear is Heimerdinger. It's not that French song, Mamelure Ennemi. It's Heimerdinger playing the banjo. It's kind of the guitar he made. And it's something like... really cool chord progression. It's very country, and he's got a nice voice, actually, the voice actor. So we hear his song first, and it takes place in episode 7, where Echo is in a new reality. He's in a new timeline where Vi has passed away, and the Undercity is doing well. It's really great. And then we hear Mamelure Ennemi. You're gonna hear me say that a lot. I cannot speak French. I'm so sorry. But then we hear that song near the end of the episode during the dance. I really like that it's kind of techno mixed with Afro beats, and they speak French. It's a really hip vibe to it, and it's I think the chord progression is E minor, D, and A minor. Da 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 da. And I think that's really cool. Simple chord progression, and it's a man and a woman speaking. So there's a lot of heavy hitters in this act. It's 21 Pilots. It's Wasteland. I can't remember the artist, but she did one of the songs for the last season. Also amazing. 21 Pilots, and then we have the star of the show, which is Pomi and Stormai. So yeah, this is a great act for music. Not my favorite act. I think the song blew up because of Jinx and Echo, and rightly so. That's like something people have been thinking about since season 1. So probably my highlight songs of this act is Pomi and Stormai with My Greatest Enemy. Translated to English, that's the name. And then Wasteland. 21 Pilots is also cool, but I like Wasteland a little bit more. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the whole show and each act. My favorite act was Act 2's music. Tell me in the comments what act you liked the most and what act had the best music. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.